Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast Mastering the Educational Future, Unveiling New Knowledge for a Good Education. This is the fifth podcast of an educational series of conversations about the Chilean curriculum. This podcast is an activity from the Chilean Curriculum and Educational Resources Module 2023 and showcases the ideas, views, and understanding about different significant normative documents for our second year English pedagogy students from Universidad de Talca, Campus Linares. These podcasts are about their main learning. My name is Miguel Serna. I am the lecturer of this module, and today we will be talking about Marco de la Buena Enseñanza, or Framework of Good Teaching, and 21st century skills in the curricular basis. Before we start, we would like to listen to our students' presentations today.
Thank you, Teacher Miguel, for inviting us. Hello, everybody. My name is Ana Camila Valdez. I'm 22 years old. I'm in second year of English pedagogy at the Universidad de Talca. My motivation for teaching is to acquire diverse knowledge in English content and the way to obtain the tools for teaching.
Great.
Hello there, my name is Tiare Freire Hawan. I'm 37 years old. I'm in second year of English pedagogy at the Universidad de Talca, and my motivation for teaching is global perspective. English is a global language used widely in academia, research, and international communication. Studying pedagogy in English provides access to a wealth of global educational research, and perspective.
Hello, my name is Natalia Norambuena. I am 26 years old. I am in my third year of English pedagogy at the Universidad de Talca, and my motivation for teaching is to change the perspective of the students about English.
Wow, thank you very much to the three of you. Okay, it was very interesting to listen to your presentations. Okay, but now I would like to talk about your motivations for studying English pedagogy. Okay, maybe your passions for that, your passions for teaching. So,
I'm going to start
great.
answering this question. Really, I didn't want to be a teacher. My principal motivation is to get the knowledge to unwrap myself in different aspects of my life, like travel to another country, get in a job in another place of the world, or maybe find my soulmate in another part of the world.
Okay, so you've got like, let's say, like an instrumental motivation, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about the two of you?
Well, first, I was not my first choice speaking English. I just wanted to learn English to work a tour guide in Rapa Nui. But as I have advanced in my degree, I have come to like the pedagogy career.
Interesting.
Well, I am a little disagree with my classmates because I want to be a teacher. I want to teach. I realized that I want to be a teacher when I was at the last year of high school. My teachers inspired me to teach, and that is the reason why I want to be a
Okay,
teacher.
that's so interesting, Natalia. Okay, I'm really happy to listen to your ideas. Okay, well, among the different contents we covered over this module, we reviewed some normative documents from the Chilean curriculum. Okay, we revised them, you did a lot of activities with them, and you have decided to talk about two of those documents. One, it is the curricular basis with the specific aim of the 21st century skills, and the other, it is the framework of good teaching, or MBE. Okay, so Natalia, I would like to know why the three of you have selected those documents.
We have selected those areas because it's a topic that we've been studying recently this model, and for us, it's a very interesting topic, the framework for the good teaching, because it's the goals that we must achieve as future teachers. And in the other hand, we have the 21st century skills that are the tools that we must to provide to our students to the students can develop in an integral way.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Natalia. At this point, the framework of good teaching and 21st century skills are correlated with each other. This is because the standard B, creating an environment propitious for learning, and the standard C, teaching for language learning for all students, have a relation with the, for example, the technology integration. It doesn't say, but the framework does not specifically focus on the technology. It emphasizes on adaptability and constant development with the need to effectively integrate technology in the classroom. For example, in our practicum center, our teachers have said to the student have to develop a Wix page, and the student must do it.
Okay, so that's been very interesting because with your discussion, you have created the context to talk about the framework of good teaching. So you have mentioned, and I noticed kind of different dimensions or domains that they include, and you, Camila, were highlighting the standard B, right? And you were mentioning some of those aspects in general. Okay, so as a way to kind of expand this understanding of the different standards or the different aspects of the framework that you mentioned, I would like to ask you, Tiare, if you would like to give us kind of a perspective towards one of those standards.
Yeah, the standard B
Okay.
focuses on the environment that is gentle between the teacher and the students, and that is decisive for the educational process. An inclusive environment in which all people feel comfortable, safe, valued, valued, and supported.
Okay. I was told, and I know as well, that over this past term, you were doing your practicum at schools. Okay. What was the name of that module?
Practical observation too.
Okay, practicum observation too. And that module you were, at school, inside the school, like seeing what was happening and everything. And I am quite sure that maybe, Natalia, you could have witnessed some of the main features of standard B, into the classroom. So, can you please tell us a bit about that?
Well, my mentor teacher, she is a wonderful teacher. She achieved many indicators from the standard B, like promoting a respect relationship between the students. She always was a respectful teacher and also the students with her. They had this confident relationship, they trust in the teacher. Also, through clear rules, she prevents conflicts. For example, she doesn't allow insults between the students, and also she doesn't allow the use of cell phones just in a pedagogical way. And she always establishes routines and strategies for sequencing and transition between activities. In this way, the students know where it comes next, and they know with what time they have to do the activities. What about you, Carmela?
I was listening to you, Natalia, very carefully, and I was thinking your teacher is very have a lot of certainty with the students. In my practicum center is not in that way. The teacher didn't have any certainty with the students. He's very cold with them, and I don't like too much their parts because he didn't give a respectful treatment to them.
Oh, okay, but there must be different other aspects that must be positive,
Yes, and their their classes they're well prepared. They're focused in their warm up, the while, and the end of the session very well developed.
What is that domain in connection to standard B? Do you know any of you? Okay, so that relates to the environment. So it's very interesting to listen to your point of views, and I would like to get to know a bit more about Standard C. Okay, as you were describing at the beginning, this domain it is about the learning of all students. Okay, so Ana Camila, would you like to complement something?
Yes, in
Mention
the
something about
standard
it?
C, we are talking about the teaching for learning for all students. I'm going to follow the example of the standard C. Strategies teaching for learning achievement D implements teaching strategies based on communication, clear and precise, to address individual difference. I'm going to keep with this phrase to address individual differences because in my class I have two students. One of these it was a guy with autism, and the other one have TDAH. So the teacher must work with the psychopedagogy, and the psychopedagogy. The teacher gives the worksheet to the psychopedagogy, and she transforms in a good way to the students can develop it.
Okay, so what you're mentioning, and I could notice, is that collaboration is very important, you
Yes.
know, for a teacher, because you also need to work all the time with other specialists, as you don't have, you know, all the knowledge or your specific knowledge about something. And in this regard, you're mentioning some aspects that are connected to 21st century skills, you know, in connection to collaboration. So I would like to ask Tiare if she can help us to clarify this idea of 21st century skills and the connection with the MBE or Marco de la Buena Enseñanza. So what do you know about 21st century skills, Tiare?
So, the 21st century skills have four aspects. These are way of thinking, way of work, tools of work, and ways of living. In these four aspects, the first way of thinking, inside this have creativity and innovation, critical thinking, and metacognition. Ways of work have a communication and collaboration. Tools of work have a digital literacy, use the information, and finally, ways of living the world have a local citizenship, live and career, and personal and social responsibility. And I think all the 21 century skills are important, but I think the metacognition for me is most important because all these skills using the metacognition to improve. Because the metacognition is the process of things, reflection, and evaluation. Learning to understand how we learn and how effective this way is.
Okay, that was a very good and comprehensive answer, right? And I would really like to know, you know, like if those 21st century skills, or do you see any of those 21st century skills aligned, you know, or connected with the framework of good teaching?
Yes, the 21st century skills emphasize competence like critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. The framework for the good teaching foster these skills through different standards, like, for example, the standard B, that focus on critical thinking and creativity thinking and metacognition.
Oh, I see.
These two are articulate.
Okay, and I can see, you know, that some of those skills may take some relevance, you know, in comparison to others. Of course, my opinion is that all of them are equally important, right? But I would like to know about the significance of those that you have seen possibly in the class, you know, Camila, and that questions go directly to you. What do you think it is the most significant, you know, like 21st century skills for your students?
In my case,
Uh-huh.
the most significant 21st century skills is the digital literacy.
Oh, what?
This one is the most important to develop in this century because a century back, you, teacher Miguel, you couldn't work with computer like us. You couldn't work with cell phone like us. You didn't have a projector like us. And now we are focused in how we must work with these technologies, helping the students to develop their knowledge. For example, the EA, yeah, ChatGPT. Do you know them, Natalia?
Yes, I know that. And I think we can work with that, not for us, it's with
Work in a good way,
yes,
but
we
not
must
copy them.
teach to the students on how to work with that.
Oh, very good point, Natalia. Yeah, very good point. Because I would say that one of the key aspects of that digital literacy skill is like to address the ethics of using technology, right? And that it is very important. So it was very interesting to hear. Okay, so thank you very much for giving your opinions in connection to this. And I would like to ask something to Tiare directly. Okay, so Tiare, can you please give us, some specific examples on how you would incorporate elements of the teaching or the framework of good teaching in the lesson planning and instruction, meaning instruction teaching itself.
That here putting the lesson plan and the work guide. Another case could be the use of cell phones is banned and used only for pedagogical reasons. And work with neurodivergent students and adapt the pedagogical process at their own pace, as well as students who are shy and find it difficult to continue sharing with other classmates.
Okay, good, quite good. Okay, I have always wondered, how teachers can support classroom environment that supports, the development of those skills, as you mentioned. Do you have any idea, Camila, about that?
There's a lot of dimension we can improve in our class. But for me, the communication, the collaboration, and digital literacy go to hand each other.
Okay.
Because, for example, us, Natalia, Tiare, and I, been working with our computers, and we've been talking about this project. For this project, we must develop communication, a good communication. Sometimes we have difference, but it's part of the process. Work with anybody in any time.
Okay, so you develop other skills at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting. And what do you think it would be the role of the teacher, in this kind of orchestration to promote critical thinking in our students, for instance?
I think the main role of the teacher to promote the critical thinking in the students is being a guide for the students, is provide the environment for the students, implementing, for example, group projects or activities that require that the students work together because through these activities, students can develop their critical thinking. For example, when we hear the opinion about one thing, and we can hear that and also uh, have new ideas through the communication. Yes. Another example is making ask open-ended questions.
I agree with you. What do you aim with this station? What is the conclusion, the final conclusion of this station? Sometimes some students don't acquire all the knowledge and stay in blank, in like a white paper.
Yes, but talking with with their classmates, they can
They,
maybe understand better.
yes,
Oh, wow, that was getting very, very, interesting. Okay, but we're about to end this podcast. But before we finish, I have some reflective questions for you. Okay, so those questions are related to your learning, basically. Okay, and I would like to start with Tiare. Okay, Tiare. As you know, we have read a lot of normative documents over the module, okay, curricular basis, framework of teaching, just to name some of them. So I would like to know what's been your main learning out of those documents, or if you want to speak about one specific document, that's fine.
And I am a specific document, the framework of good teaching. For me, it's more representative the good environment in the classroom because if you have this, the student has an attitude to learn more and better, have a good disposition to participate in the class and more communication between the students and the same time to the teacher.
Okay, and what about you, Natalia? Have you learned something about the relationship of the standards, for example?
Yes, I learned about the relationship between the standard B and C, that these two standards search the learning is fostering the learning for the students, but with different points of view. For example, the standard B is focused on the environment, and the standard C is focused on the students. But if the two are articulated, it's necessary to work with the two.
Oh, it's so good that you have noticed that. Okay, so let's move a bit away from the MBE and let's talk about 21st century skills, right? Because I really want to see what you have learned about that. In particular, I would like to know about collaboration and communication, Camila. Okay, what have you learned about that in connection to the classroom environment, for instance?
for the collaboration and communication. I'm going to start with collaboration. For example, working together on projects or solving problems is we give them work in teams. The students must be capable to resolve them and work together. In the communication, they have they they must have the manner to express their ideas in a good way, dividing with pairs and help students refine their thinking and develop a deeper understanding of the concept.
Oh, I loved that, that answer because it's kind of telling me, very specific details about your learning. Okay. Okay. Now I have the final question for the three of you. Okay. So you need to feel free to answer this question and relax. I can see your faces, So what have you learned from this module? I think that there must be a lot of things happening. We worked in collaboration most of the time, a lot of discussions. We read a lot as well. So, would you like to highlight your main learning? What are you taking out from this module? Any of you?
Well, I learned that achieve the indicators from the framework for the good teaching is a long way.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's very
It's a
difficult to,
process.
yes, it's a process.
Very, very good reflection.
And the framework of good teaching it's going to be with us all the career, all the time. And I don't know if the Ministry of Education it's going to actualize the framework of
Updated?
yes,
Okay.
updated the framework of good teaching because in 2021 they actualized, and I don't know if in the future are going to do the same.
Okay. Positive. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And we need to remember that the framework of good teaching connects, in-service and pre-service education, right? Okay, and what about you, Tiare?
Well, this model, the knowledge is very interesting because we have the curricular basis, the framework with teaching, and the 21st century skills, and then work together to be a good teacher in the future, to um, have a good learning and classes.
This model
in
give out this model. Continue your answer if I can. Give us the tools to improve
To articulate.
and articulate better in the future.
Okay, that's so nice to hear. Okay, so we're about to finish this podcast. I would like to thank to all our listeners. Okay, so my name is Miguel.
Natalia, Tiare.
And Camila.
Okay, and we would like to thank you all for listening to us and have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Bye. Kisses.
Excellent.